Okay, so this girl has become pretty divisive. Sydney Sweeney, where one-third of the world wants to sleep with her, one-third of the world hates her, and then the other third of the world doesn't care and just wants a third season of Euphoria. But I have news for all three groups of people that they're going to be very divided on, because it was just made very clear that for Euphoria Season 3, Sydney Sweeney is becoming an OnlyFans star. And for Euphoria and Sydney Sweeney, she has had by far the most nude scenes of any character in the show, where of the main girls, she's had more than all of them combined. But unlike a lot of other actresses who work for HBO, Sydney Sweeney hasn't backtracked at all. And just for comparison for how other actresses have felt with Nudity and working with HBO, Emilia Clarke said it was absolutely a horror story in the first season of Game of Thrones where she had way too many nude scenes, and in the first episode of the show, she was left naked shivering for 40 minutes while filming in front of 30 different people, so for season 2, she demanded a lot less nudity. For Sydney Sweeney, she said she has no plan to dial down the nudity in Euphoria, where she said it's never personally bothered her outside of the premiere where her dad showed up not aware she'd be going nude and her dad nearly threw up. But besides that, Sydney Sweeney has been happy going nude, saying there's only been 2 nude scenes she's rejected throughout the entire run of Euphoria. But now going into Euphoria Season 3, there is going to be this big change, and that's because the cast is getting a lot older. Sydney Sweeney was only 21 years old when the first season was filmed, but because of COVID, writer strikes, actor strikes, and also the cast schedule, she's 28 years old filming the 3rd season. So because of that, they're going to do a 5-year time skip. Some fans have really mixed reactions on where her character is now, because it was just made very clear through leaks that her character of Cassie will become an OnlyFans star in Season 3. That actually really tracks storyline-wise, because Euphoria Season 1 is supposed to take place in 2018 and 2019, and in 2019, OnlyFans only paid creators $218 million, but then cut to 5 years later in 2024 was $5.8 billion, and for 2025, the reports are not out yet, but it's $7 billion, and also at the same time, it's reported that 3,500 women have made over $1 million on OnlyFans. Yeah, that storyline does make sense, where if you look at Cassie in season 1 and 2, it definitely makes sense she tries to make a lot of money there, maybe even millions of dollars. But then also at the same time, some people, especially adult creators, are actually really unhappy about this because they feel that Cassie's storyline of having a dad that's not in the picture and also has an addiction issue is just adding to the stereotype that all girls who work in the adult industry have father issues. There's also some fans of the character Cassie who just don't like the idea her character is going that route and actually want a redemption arc, but it doesn't look likely she's going to get it. Still, this all begs another bigger question in my head, and that's that what would Sydney Sweeney actually make if she decided to make an OnlyFans? Because remember, this is the girl that sold her own bathwater infused with soap, so I really don't think she's above doing an OnlyFans, so I want to just try and figure out how much she'd make. We could use some celebrity examples where Bad Baby made $1 million in her first 12 hours, and she's made $75 million so far, but it is clear she is doing hardcore content. You have people like Sophie Rain, who wasn't even a celebrity before it, but she's made $95 million in the last 24 months, and she is doing softcore content. Probably the closest example to Sydney Sweeney is Bella Thorne, who did it in 2021 and she made $1 million in 24 hours doing it, but then she backtracked because she wasn't actually following through with nudes. Yeah, I think if Sydney Sweeney did it and just did Playboy-esque content, nothing more hardcore, she'd make $100 million a year, and with that, I'm Charles Pearl, subscribe, learn something.